I got a really special phone in today, and it's the Honor Magic 4 Pro. So this is my first time working with Honor. They sent this out to me as a review unit. Super excited about it. In this video, we're going to unbox it. We're going to dive in, take a look at it, talk about the specs and my experience with it for the short period of time that I've had it so far. But so far, definitely an impressive phone, an interesting phone from Honor. Let's go ahead and take it out of the box and look at it. And here we are with the Honor Magic 4 Pro Edition. So this phone right here, first time I've ever got a phone from Honor before. Excited about this. They branched off from Huawei and they're their own brand now. So this is, from my knowledge, their first flagship under the Honor name. Let's go ahead and take it out of the box. So I've got the 256 gig model with 8 gigs of RAM. They do have a couple other different storage configurations going as high as 5, 12, and 12 gigabytes of RAM. And very interesting thing here, you can see even through this kind of translucent wrapping paper here, this has a massive camera module. So this should probably tell you right here what the focus is on this phone. I really like this color. I happened to see this while I was at MWC in Barcelona a couple of months ago, and this color looks so nice. It's kind of like a, I don't know, maybe almost kind of like a teal color, if I'm getting that right, but it looks really, really nice. There's a couple different color options to choose from, and it comes in gold, orange, black, white, or cyan. So this is the cyan version. Kind of looks like the sky. A little bit more green, I think, to it. And right here you can tell camera module all the way. It's got a 64 megapixel camera, periscope telephoto, phase detection autofocus, optical image stabilization, and 3.5 times optical zoom. That's just nuts. And then it's got two 50 megapixel cameras, a wide and an ultra wide, time of flight sensor, and it shoots 4K video up to 60 frames per second, HDR10, 10-bit video. And then on the front, you've got the camera module up over here on the left. And actually, one thing I'm excited about, it has a time of flight sensor on the front too, so you can get better quality selfies with the portrait effects, and also it's supposed to be for enhanced biometrics. And you can see here, it has a screen protector already installed on it. This is a beautiful looking phone, and I think it does have some legacy holdover stuff. It does kind of remind me of the old Mate phones with Huawei. Like the way this looks though. Dual stereo speakers and power button, volume rocker over here all on one side, couple of antenna bands. The design on it looks really nice. I'm definitely happy with the way that looks. Let's see what else is in the box here. Interesting thing about this phone, 100-watt charging, but not just 100-watt charging. It's 100-watt wired charging and 100-watt wireless charging, which is crazy. Now the charging times, it says 100 watts, you're supposed to get a full charge, 100% in 30 minutes on the wired charger. When it comes to the wireless, it says it takes about an hour. And the reason is it's just the charging power is there, but the transfer of energy efficiency is lost some whenever you come to wireless. So take a look at the SIM tray here. So let's go ahead and see what we got inside here. Also be careful, this hole over here is the microphone. This one over here is for the SIM tray. You can see it's got the little rubber seal around it. It is IP68 dust and water resistant. No SD card storage here, but you can do a dual SIM configuration, so that's nice to know. USB-C charging port, speaker on the bottom and the top for stereo speakers, and you even have a little IR blaster up top too if you want to take advantage of that. Also comes with a clear case inside of here, which I'm always all about having a case. Even though this is a very thin and flimsy clear plastic case, it's nice that it comes with it, so that way you can have your phone protected straight out of the box, and then you can always order other accessories if you want. So it is nice, it's complimentary, makes the phone look nice, and this definitely doesn't pick up as many fingerprints as the back of the phone does, because you can see here, I've only been using this phone for just a few short minutes, and yeah, we got some smudges on here, so I will be using the case. You do get the included charging brick, 100 watts. Now, if you're in the US, this is the global edition, so I'm hoping that it'll work with 5G here in the US. I'll have to test it out, at least on T-Mobile. 100-watt charger in the box. That's super nice because so many different brands don't even give you a charger anymore. And then we also have the charging cable as well, and it should be a USB Type A to Type C. So everything that you need in the box, ready to go, and it's a sharp-looking phone. So let me go ahead and fire this up, and I'm going to have to go ahead and get it set up so we can go to the next part and actually discuss the phone and some of the cool stuff about the operating system and how it performs. But that's it so far with the unboxing. But out. Is this not a beautiful looking phone? I've actually had trouble capturing it on video. I went outside so I could try and shoot some video, and my Pixel 6 Pro, because it was so shiny, it couldn't even focus in on it as I was trying to record it. And actually, this is a thumbs up for the iPhone, because the iPhone handled it no problem. I had to switch over and do that to try and get some of the B-roll and to make a TikTok video that I'm trying to do. But anyway, so look at this camera module. If you're going to put something this big on the back of a phone, that's basically saying this is what this phone is built for. Because otherwise, you would just put a small camera on there, right? You would just put a regular camera bump, nothing too crazy. Look at this. And you can see right up top dead center, 100 times zoom. So it does have 100 times zoom, which is also kind of interesting because they should have called this phone like the 100 grand. It does have a couple hundreds. It's got 100 watt wired and wireless charging, which is pretty insane. So in the camera department, it's got a 64 megapixel periscope telephoto camera, which is what gives it 3.5 times optical zoom. That's real zoom. That's not digital. And then you can do the full zoom up to 100 times. So it can reach out and look at stuff. And just, I'm going to have to do some more comparison stuff, but just on day one footage, testing it out some, I think it's not quite as sharp at 100 times as the S22 Ultra is, but it's still impressive. Not a whole lot of phones can do this kind of business. Two 50 megapixel cameras, a wide and an ultra wide, time of flight sensor on the front and the back, so you get better portrait shots. That's really what it's there for. So this thing is very complimentary for photos and for video. You can also use that periscope telephoto. You can get up close and personal to get some pretty close, almost complete macro shots, but not quite that close, not quite as close as a true macro, but you can still get good up close shots. And there's a couple of photo samples you've seen scattered in here. Went outside, took some decent basic photos to give you an idea kind of what the skill set is of this camera. So you can see the color spectrum, so you can see kind of how the HDR works, how it handles the light. I think it's pretty decent. In addition to that, you got this beautiful 6.81 inch, we'll just call it 6.8 inch AMOLED display, HDR10 plus, 1000 nits brightness. Now, 1000 nits is pretty good. Anything you get to 1000, I'm pretty happy with. It doesn't have the ultimate crazy super brightness that you get with the S22 Ultra, the iPhone 13 Pro, none of that stuff, but it's still 1000 nits, very good. You can see it outside pretty well. Now, if you get it in like direct blazing summer sunlight, you might have a little bit of trouble, but still 1000 nits is way better than we've had in the past. You can see here, you've got an interesting camera module here. So it's not over here, it's not a cutout, it's not a little teardrop notch, it's this kind of elongated pill capsule form. What's housed in here is a 12 megapixel camera and a time of flight sensor. We talked about that a minute ago. It's a dedicated little camera that it uses for depth sensing and to add some depth of field so you get better quality, true bokeh effect in your photos. So that's also nice, beautiful screen, 120 hertz. Two things I really like that they do here. So with this phone, with their operating system, they have it where it will scale the resolution if you want it on auto mode to fit the setting and also to help save with battery. Same thing with the refresh rate. So it goes up to 120 hertz. It can throttle to 90 or 60. And also, if you use the adaptive auto mode on there, it can change that stuff on the fly too. But I like to stick with mine, 120 hertz. So 4600 milliamp battery. It's got a pretty decent battery in here. You would kind of expect a 5000 in this category. They've been so prevalent the last couple years in a lot of phones. Is it the end of the world? No, because it has 100 watt wired charging. So with 100 watt wired charging, they say it'll get 0 to 100% in 30 minutes, which is pretty darn impressive. It comes with a 100 watt charger in the box. I can't test it out because it's not compatible with the charging here in the US. But also 100 watt wireless charging. I don't have that charger either. So I'll have to take them at their word on the specifications on that, or you can watch other videos if somebody's actually tested that. 30 minutes for a full charge is serious business. So that means even though it's 4600 milliamp, which will probably get you a decent amount of battery life, it should get you through the day. You can recharge it basically in a matter of minutes. So you could put this on the charger for 10 minutes, come back and have a substantial amount of battery. So I'm not going to harp too much on the lack of 5000. It's 400 milliamps off, but at the same point in time, it's got some serious charging. So serious charging, serious power, Snapdragon 8 Generation 1 under the hood. I have the 8GB of RAM model with 256 gigabytes of storage. It goes up to 512 storage and 12 gigabytes of RAM, which is also pretty serious. Costs more money, and I don't have that model. But I don't think that it's absolutely essential for that. I'm using the 8 gig model, 8 gigs is pretty darn good when it comes to RAM. I don't really have any complaints there. Where I've had complaints over the last year or two is where you get a company like Samsung that gives you 12 in the previous year model, and then they drop it down to 8 this go around so they can charge you more for 12. I don't get jiggy with that. That bothers me. But 8 gigs of RAM is totally fine in pretty much any situation you could possibly imagine. So you got power, performance, battery, charging, serious camera stuff, IP68 dust and water resistance. It has wireless power share at 5 watts. So, I mean, that's better than some. I don't actually use my battery for that, but hey, if you need to wirelessly charge something, you can do it. It does have dual SIM cards. We showed that off in the unboxing. You pop out the SIM tray, dual SIM slots, no SD card slot. So this is my first time with an Honor phone. I don't know if previously they had SD card slots and they took it out. Maybe they did, who knows. So they are a branch off of Huawei, and kind of, I guess, with all the problems that they've had globally trying to get 5G, trying to get Google services and all that, Honor seems to have been parsed off to the side, and now Honor is its own brand, which is cool because they can sell global phones. And I'm actually happy about it because I've been interested in this phone. I saw it when I was in Barcelona at Mobile World Congress, and it was such a really nice phone. So I'm glad that I've got this opportunity to test it out. So far I like it. It's got nice stereo speakers on here as well. The only hang up on the stereo speakers, not a ton of bass. Like, it's okay. The bass is all right, but it's not as, doesn't have as much depth as the iPhone or the S22 Ultra, some other phones, but it does have good volume. Mids and highs also good on the sound. Call quality is good. So it's running Magic 6 UI, which is their version of Android. It's their skinned version of it, kind of like we have Realme in their UI, and then we have Oppo, and we have OnePlus with their Oxygen, Hydrogen, all those different things. It's just a different kind of skin version of Android 12. Seems to be working fine. I haven't had any complaints with it so far. A couple little quirks here and there with how they like to do business, but so far, I think it's been a fun experience. It's nice to try something new, refreshing. First time using an Honor phone. So yeah, I'm going to have to learn more as this goes. I'll come back with my full review in about 2 weeks. But so far, so good. I like it. Beautiful screen. The haptics on it are pretty good too. I think that probably the haptics on like the Pixel 6 Pro, since they've restored it back to how it used to be, S22 Ultra definitely are the best in the business when it comes to haptics right now. But these guys right here, definitely good as well. And it's an enjoyable experience. It's nice to type on. It comes with SwiftKey out of the box, which was interesting. I put Gboard on there, which is what I use natively and enjoy. Lots of different color options to choose from, and pricing is going to vary depending on your region. I believe as far as pricing goes, it's about 950 euros to start off with, which is a little over $1,100. If you pair that up with other phones of comparable stats and specs and different reputation and stuff, that's probably on par. It's not something that a lot of people are going to be buying here in the States, so if you're watching this, you're part of my audience. If this is more of an enthusiastic device, if you want to get one and use it over here, if it's something you're curious about, by and large, you're probably not going to see a lot of people in the US walking around with an Honor phone, but I think that from my experience with it so far, I'm enjoying it, and this is a gorgeous looking phone. Like, I absolutely love the way this looks. Also, it is apt to picking up the fingerprints a little bit. The case, surprisingly, is not. It does protect it pretty well from that. Definitely use the case. The screen protector intact on it is also very nice. So that's all I've got. I know this is kind of lengthy, but I've really been enjoying using this. It's the first time looking at it, so this is a fresh eyes situation with a new phone, a new brand, and hopefully you enjoyed the video. So that's all I've got in this video. If you have any questions or comments, please go down to the comment section and I will get back with you. If you enjoyed the video, please hit the like and the subscribe button and a little notification bell if you want updates when new videos come out. And as always, thanks for being here. I appreciate you watching, and I'll see you guys next time.